Hi Sagittarius, here's a general look at your solar chart for June 2013. Before I speak about the fast inner planets, I just want to say a few things about the slower outer planets. The faster moving inner planets are like actors and actresses in a soap opera. They make their entrances and exits, but the slower moving outer planets are what actually shape our world. They probably wrote the play and built the theatre and the stage. So I just want to say a little bit about Neptune. Neptune is impacting your sign in a very dynamic way. Neptune isn't a particularly dynamic energy, but the geometric angle is what we call in the trade a hard angle, which means that there's a lot of friction with it and conflict with it, and consequently an awful lot of learning comes from it as well. Any planet that's in that kind of angle. So the Neptune angle on your sun at the moment, for those of you born in the earlier part of Sagittarius, may be with 4 to 6 degrees rising, or just in the November part of Sagittarius, from about the 25th, I would say. You could be feeling this rather elusive, confusing at times energy of Neptune on your sense of who you are, your sense of self-identity, and it may not be feeling to you quite that way. It may be feeling that you're you're second guessing things. You're a little bit unsure about which way to go now, and you know what you're really doing and what it's really all about, and you know, you're just uncertain because Neptune does this. It brings in uncertainty. Because Neptune is very smoke and mirrors, you know. So you must strive not to succumb to this. Understand that it's because of the Neptunian vibration around you, but you must redouble efforts to be grounded and clear, and almost like bring in a little bit more logic to things, and then it should then balance out any of the adverse traits of Neptune. Also Neptune, where he is, or it is, whether it's female or male, I rather see Neptune as a male for some reason. Poseidon, you know, Neptune, the god of the sea. But that's just the way I see it. He's at the very root of your chart, and that might mean these confusing feelings come through a member of your family, or because of a member of your family, or it can be about members of the family, or it can be about a place on the map or a location. It can even be about, you know, your emotional patterns built up over many years, and you know the patterns that were originally laid down when you were very, very small as well. And this Neptunian energy swirling around that area there means that some of that confusion comes because you are being sucked back or sucked into some of that old patterning, you see. And if you say that we all vibrate, and I do, we all vibrate at a certain frequency, and everything does, and I think science has proved that now. And in fact, I think we all of us have our own sound. Everything has its own sound, which is out of the audible range, but it's there, and under some circumstances you can actually hear that sound, or sense, maybe I should say, that sound. Then that is the sound of our, you know, habitual vibration, although when things come at us in life, that vibration can go up and down, and when we learn new things, that could change our vibration as well, in a good way or a bad way. But anyway, with the Neptunian energy here, it might get you being pulled back into a historical or traditional vibration to do with your bloodline, to do with your family, to do with your background, to do with your place on the map, whatever it's about, even your neighborhood or your community. And there might be some confusion because of a member of the family, or a member of the family can be in a confused state, or rather a state where things are a little bit up in the air. And any of that sort of stuff can pull you back into that vibration, which is fine if it's okay. If it's bringing to you more of the same, then that's all right. But if it's not, then you have to strive not to succumb to this and to actually get out of that vibration, sort of gear up and change that vibration, which you can do through meditation, you can do through visualization techniques, but also you can do through lots of other ways, like getting out and about more and doing different things, and or maybe even reading or writing a book or whatever it is, doing something which will change that gear, doing something which will change that vibration. So then you start to attract to yourself circumstances and conditions which align with that higher vibration. Maybe that's more what you need now. Maybe you could be getting into some sort of new area of interest. Whatever it is, it will begin to up that vibration. So that's how I see it anyway. And over May and June, we've got a really lovely aspect coming in from Saturn onto Neptune to help you to do just that. To make, to bring the vision to Earth, to actually earth the vision, to make it real, to earth the dream, to make that dream real, to earth the theory and make that theory real. Another way Neptune works at the root of your chart is that you feel that your home situation is less than idyllic. I mean, far from it. And you build up this sort of idea in your mind of ideally what you would like with your home, and possibly with your family as well, or a member of your family, or members of your family, or extended family or tribe. It doesn't have to be your blood family at all. So it's almost like the idea of a retreat space or a sanctuary, or if it's not like that for you, then just a space that's absolutely beautiful and very peaceful and very intimate and very protective as well. Like it just wraps itself around you. So having this sort of ideal vision of where you'd like to be and how you'd like it to be in your home life is more likely with Neptune here. And of course you can achieve it, but you have to try and always bring in the logic, bring in the more of the reality side of things. What's going on across the larger stage in the world with economies, and because there's lots of ups and downs happening at the moment, and who knows where the roulette wheel's going to stop next. So anything that can help you keep centered, keep aligned, go into meditation, or do something like yoga or Pilates or Tai Chi, any of those sorts of things to help you keep aligned, and then you'll be able to work with this Saturn Neptune vibration maybe a bit better, which will give you a deeper understanding of things, but also help you to walk the talk and make something happen, make something real. Now then, about June. Well, it's a very interesting month. It's when the sun goes into your opposite sign, Gemini, and until the 21st it's not going to be a time to go it alone. You can get a lot further with things if you team up with someone, and this is a time when you can be developing a relationship, but also learning how to get the best out of close relationships, cooperative alliances. And partnerships, of course. So however it is for you, there's this feeling of mutual interaction, and you may be depending on the other's contribution a little bit more, but also they're probably going to be depending on yours. Basically, this vibration can give love relationships and friendships a boost, but also can deepen feelings as well. But you can really bounce ideas off each other. You've got Venus in there as well, which is a little bit of luck. I don't know, Venus is in there in May. Venus is coming out of there on the 3rd of June, but that's a little bit of luck because Venus then goes into an area which is also about relationships. So you could be sharing a joint interest with someone as well, and definitely a time for sharing, you know, in a one-to-one way with another. Working one-to-one with people as well is very well highlighted. And then from the 21st, there's a gear change phase coming in, but you just got to be weighing things up. You'll get maybe a little bit more introspective. You'll be pondering on something, looking for your own bottom line on something, being aware of others in close relationship on maybe emotional, maybe being more sensitive to others, or feeling more sensitive yourself, or they're being more sensitive, and maybe, you know, having their buttons pushed, or you're having your buttons pushed just a little bit more there. But with Venus there, it's likely that Venus is going to balance things out, and it could be quite a sizzly time for some of you. But definitely you will have a weather eye on the material side of life, the financial side of things, and the emotional side of things too. Now, discussions, ideas, or research, or study, or any kind of speaking, writing, all of that could be along deeper lines, be more insightful. Advice you get can be more insightful or intuitive, or advice you're giving is more insightful and intuitive. Your thinking could be quite strategic, looking to plan, looking to the future, figuring it out, digging and delving, depending which area you're digging and delving into. You could, you know, things could be revealed to you, or just the way things are unfolding. Then it, you know, the writing is then on the wall. What you were wondering about before begins to become more obvious. But you can feel quite, as though you've got to keep the lid on certain things, as though you can't just, you know, do the saggy thing, which is, you know, hitting people over the head with the truth. So you have to just be a little bit more low-key, zip your lips sometimes. And your thinking could be focusing also on the financial aspects in a relationship. It can be between you and someone, or maybe somebody else and somebody else. And it could be also that conversations or paperwork could very much be focused on property, or could revolve around property. And there could be more paperwork related to that, or related to an agreement or a contract of some kind. And there could be just this need to be a little bit secretive, or something is being, you know, kept confidential. So at this time you're being a little bit more low-key and sensing rather than thinking your way forwards. Okay, so, but you can feel quite passionate about something, and also you and somebody else can be together feeling quite passionate, you know, really fingers crossed about something. So trust your deeper instincts, and try not to do the knee-jerk reaction, because it's easier to push your buttons with Mercury here, and Mercury's going to remain there until August the 9th. Venus is going to be helping you out though. Venus, the great balancer, is going into a potentially materially beneficial area for you, but also an emotionally beneficial area. So the two things are good news in my book. Negotiations or deeper connections could go well. That's from the 3rd to the 28th, and some of you will shift into more commitment in a material sense, or even in a relationship, depending on your natal chart, and also your ability to create and manifest what you want. And also some of this could revolve around a shared property sort of setup, if it's or to do with maybe it's shared possessions or items or a space of some kind. But you're not there alone. You don't have overall say. You feel as though you're not in the driving seat. So you've got to get on as well as you can with others to do with this, the money, the property, the space, the relationship, just the conditions that you have around you. And on another level, Venus means that you and someone could be getting more involved, but also it's a good time to have a heart-to-heart talk or seek confidential advice, maybe from an impartial outside person, and this period can bring about a shift or a new chapter in a relationship. It's also a good time for earning money, or for some money to be coming to you as well. It could be through some kind of windfall, but also just because of the work that you're doing, and that work could be more like have a more one-to-one or be connected to teaming up with somebody. Now until the 31st, just looking at the camera there, your personal or professional relationships are likely to be more lively and productive. Because of somebody else's agenda or schedule, you've got to have more stamina, more energy, and or at times, with Mars here, you and someone could be crossing swords with each other as well. You just don't agree. But the advice would be to try and keep things on an even keel, and don't dive in head first with all guns blazing. And don't let somebody overtire you because you're trying too hard on their behalf. That's a typical one with Mars there. And you can get a lot done. You can be very productive and cover a lot of ground. Now, the big news, of course, is that Jupiter is changing signs. Jupiter being your ruling planet. Jupiter is moving out of your opposite sign and into Cancer on June the 26th. So for about a year, Jupiter will be putting the emphasis on your joint financial area. Materially, your life could get a little bit better, Sagittarius. Could grow and expand through the contributions of others or an associate or a partner. And this can mean that more money or possessions are made available to you, or that you find it easier to access them because of a key relationship. So that sounds like good news, and it may be a different financial strategy or a setup that becomes a useful resource, and it may be for you, or it can be some kind of debt or that's repaid, and just things can get sorted out in the sort of money department there, and the joint interests with Jupiter there. The potential is there to sort things out. And you Sagittarians born between the 22nd and 24th of November and the 14th to the 22nd of December, or with from 23 degrees rising, going to feel this energy the most this month, and up to 2 degrees rising as well, I have to say. And also Saturn is in a very background area, meaning that you're tying up loose ends from the past. That's where you've got to sweat the hardest, work the hardest, and also do a lot of work beavering away on a project in the background, or some sort of therapeutic nurturing activity in the background. That would be a very good idea. And you Sagittarians born between the 26th of November and the end of November, or with 4 to 7 degrees rising, going to feel this energy the most this month. And that's it for June. If you know your rising sign or your moon sign, then listen to those. And if you want to know what the outer planets are doing and which part of your sign they'll be affecting, go to my website. It's written up there. And I'll see you the next time.